Today is very special because it's a Sharpen My Axe and review in one. Hey guys, today we're going to be checking out the new Framus Phil XG D Series guitar. Now, if you're not familiar with the Phil XG guitars by Framus and the series, I'll explain it to you real quick. There's essentially master built, which is anytime you see him with a custom built guitar, it's kind of like the sky's the limit. They can create anything. That's that series guitar made in Germany. Then there's a team built series in Germany that's more standardized. And now a new, more affordable series called the D Series. Now, this is an import version, but of course they were just trying to make the guitar more readily available to more guitar players. So I'm going to talk about what it has in common with the team built series and what is not in common with it. They both have a mahogany body with a mahogany neck, and they both have the Phil X kind of profile neck.
It's a man's neck.
It's a man. Oh, see?
Yeah.
It's a man's neck.
It's a man's neck. I mean, it's...
That's a James Brown sound, right? It's a man's neck.
Now, interesting about this and why I wanted to do this video was when I picked up this guitar, this very one, at the NAMM show this January, the first thing I noticed was the neck felt exactly like Phil's guitar. Now, when I say like Phil's guitar, I don't mean like the more expensive version. I actually got to play Phil's actual guitar. And so what I was noticing is it felt the same. The other thing that's interesting about them is they both have the small but tall fret wire. Now, I don't know if the fret material is the same, but they definitely have the same shaped fret wire, so they're alike as well. They both have the two-piece bridge, strap locks, the Phil X Framus medallion plate that says Phil XG artist line on it, so those are the same. They both have graphite nuts. And both come with a gig bag, although the team built comes with a deluxe gig bag and this comes with a more standard gig bag. And both have the Framus Warwick easy access compartment, which doesn't require a screwdriver. It lets you get in there in case you're having a problem at the gig with electronics, or if you want to put your weed in there for you guys that like Saturday Night Live jokes. So what are dissimilar about the two models? Well, this model is a set neck where the team belt will be a neck through construction. This has Seymour Duncan's, a 59 in neck, and JB, where the team belt will have the Phil X pickups. This has a tiger stripe ebony fretboard where the team belt has rosewood, and this has Gator style keys where the team belt will have ratio tuners. So where does the Sharpen My Axe come in? Well, when I picked up this guitar at the NAMM show, I thought immediately how fun would it be to get this and trick it out. And so what we did is we talked to the guys at Framus, and they were able to sell us the guitar. And I reached out to my patrons, and Marty, one of my patrons, basically paid for the guitar. So that's the easy part there. So he bought the guitar and he paid for a Phil X pickup to be put in the bridge. Now, my buddy Neil gave me a P94, Gibson P94, so I thought that would be a great pickup to put in the neck. I know Phil X makes a P90, but if budgets would allow, I would have done that. But having the P94, I thought, hey, it's here and it's a good pickup. I want to put it in there. Now, the guys at GraphTech hooked us up and gave us some tuning keys, so we're going to put some ratio tuning keys on there. Now, the one thing I really don't enjoy about the guitar is that it has a linear potentiometer here. And I don't like how when you turn it, nothing happens till you get about 80% and then it just shuts off. So I'm going to put a CTS pot here and a CTS pot on the volume pot. But I want to point out they use a nice high-end output jack and three-way switch, so we don't have to mess with that. In fact, like I said, these potentiometers are fine. I just don't like the linears versus the tapers. But again, that could be a Phil X thing. Maybe he likes the linears over the tapers, or just something they chose for the import. I don't really know. So Marty is going to get the very first Phil X D Series import guitar in the US. Which is cool, and he's going to get it all tricked out and signed by Phil, and I think it's really cool, and I want to thank him again for doing this. So let's get into the guitar. Okay, so here is the Phil X pickup. It's the Phil X PX Super 8, number 35, so I think that's the 35th one made. This is the bridge, and it's engraved, so let's check that out. It's by Arcane Inc. And this is the pickup. As you can see, they etch the X right in there. And then on the back, I thought this was kind of cool. They etch in the company name and then where it says Phil X PX Super 8. So very cool. This is going to go in the bridge. Now for the neck, I have this. Now for the neck, like I said, my buddy Neil gave me this P94. This is a Gibson P94. And so we're going to put this in the neck and get that cool P90 sound. I think it's going to sound fantastic. For the potentiometers, we're going to change out the cheap ones and install these nice ones. Here's the one for the tone. And these are zero friction. So we'll explain that later when I do the demonstrations. Let's go ahead and get inside. And like I said, this doesn't require any screwdrivers or anything. You just kind of take that off and we can look right inside there. So what we have is the three-way switch. We have the tone pot right there, and we have the volume pot. You know, the solder work isn't that great. You can see you can see a bunch of solder right there that's nothing's even attached to it, but that's real common with import guitars. You know, you're gonna see some sloppy work. The workers are not very skilled, and sometimes they reuse parts. So I've seen it all. These are gonna come out, but we're gonna have a problem as soon as we take these out, so I wanna talk about that. So I just desoldered this out, and there's a couple things I want to point out. I really hate that they do this. So they used the wrong potentiometer. See, they used the long post, and so they just stuck tons of washers in there. In fact, look, they needed 4 to do this. Kind of, you know, this is the stuff you see when you see import stuff. Not that it's make or break for a lot of people, but, you know, obviously these are the things that make guitars less expensive. There's less attention to detail. Just stuff is just done randomly with no thought or purpose put into it. The only purpose this had was this is the pot they had, and they wanted to get the guitar out the factory that day. The other thing you got to pay attention to is this. So this is the old potentiometer, and this is going to be the new one. And massive difference. Not just in the size, but in the quality. But mostly what you're going to notice is the shaft is going to be much different. So obviously, this is not going to fit in the hole that they drilled in this guitar. So you have some choices. You can drill out a new hole using a drill, or you can use the technique I use a lot of times for something this simple, which is to use a reamer. I find the reamer is less destructive and there's less potential for damage. So simple enough, we're just going to use the reamer. You're going to go ahead and just... And sometimes what I like to do is use a piece of painter's tape and set the depth. That works really good for me. But in this case, I've kind of done it so many times that I just knew where to line it up. There you go. Fits good. We may have to put a washer in there to level that out because we don't want it to be tilted. That's just the way they did this, but it'll be fine. So the same thing with the tone control. They used, this time, like some kind of broken washer. I don't know what the heck that is. But there you go. I don't know. So now that I've installed the new potentiometers, something I should mention is that they're not only audio taper, but they are zero friction. They are quick to turn, which is something I noticed that Phil X does. He's really fast on the draw when it comes to his volume and tone knobs.
Like I'm so good at.
So obviously the old import style knobs don't fit, but that's okay because I want to do something really crazy and fun. I know that Phil likes kind of bigger knobs on his guitar.
Is that why the knobs are so huge?
No, I just like big knobs.
He likes big knobs. So anyways, I got these oversized, really cool knobs to go on there so that they're going to look great when they're on the guitar. I think aesthetically they're just going to set the guitar off definitely over these like little kind of cheaper dome knobs. Now the fastest, easiest way to swap out pickups sometimes, especially like this where they're wired to the three-way switch, something that we're not changing, is to go ahead and identify which pickup's which. So this is the neck pickup, and then like I said, you can cut the pickup straight here. You cut it here, leaving all the wires connected so that way you can see where the new ones are going to go. Now a little trick I use all the time is I think of it this way. I think of neck pickups as being long, in other words far away from the bridge, and bridge pickups being short. So when I cut these, I will cut this about yay. That's the bridge pickup. Okay. And this one is the neck pickup. I cut it a little longer. So I don't have to label them anything. See right here? I can see. Let's go ahead and show you by doing it this way. See, this is the bridge and this is the neck because I made this one short, that one long. So it's an easy way to figure that out later. So something to note, on the Phil X pickup, the wiring is going to be green and bare is ground, black is hot, and red and white are your coil split. So if you want to coil split this pickup, you can. I'm not going to in this case. There wasn't any wiring paperwork with the pickup, so that's what you want to do with that. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to change out these tuning keys. So these are the Gator style tuning keys, and we'll remove these. The keys are okay. You know, there's probably nothing wrong with them, but the ratio keys to me are a huge difference, not in how easily they get strings up to pitch, but having the locking mechanism to be able to change the strings quickly is really impressive. Now, when removing the tuning keys, I use this Gator grip. I always put a link in the description in case you're interested in one. I really like it. It has these pens, and it works very quickly. As you see, I don't even put it on a socket wrench or anything. I can just quickly and easily with my own hands loosen these. The other thing I like about this is the perfect amount of torque when I hand turn them, tighten them back up. I find that sometimes people over tighten these things, strip them, damage them. There's all kinds of problems. I think because people get overly cautious about how tight these need to be. What I will tell you is this: you need to make sure that they're tightened firmly, but not too aggressively. But more importantly, with anything like tuning keys, you need to make sure that you often check them every time you restring and tighten them back up. So that's why something like this is fast and easy to have on hand. So what we're going to install is some Graphtec ratio tuning keys, and they're going to go like so. Look at that. It's going to be a big improvement. And these require no modifications, as we've said over and over again in the videos, because they're going to give you these plates, and these plates will allow us to install them quickly and easily. No fuss, no muss. Find the right plate, which we already know it's this one. So let's take this tuning key. See if we can read that. Number 6. This is number 6. So it'll go like so. And then all we'll do is put, and then basically line up the plate like so, and then just go ahead and just do that and repeat it 5 more times. So here it is. Let's compare the new Philips bridge pickup to the original Seymour Duncan bridge pickup. Okay, so now that we tried that out, let's hear it in the middle position. Now we'll be using the Philips pickup and the Gibson P94 versus the 59 and JB and see how it sounds in the middle position. And finally, let's check out the neck pickup. Let's hear how this neck pickup sounds compared to a full humbucker. Now keep in mind, this is the P94, so it's essentially a single coil versus the humbucker. So there you have it. I think the Phil X pickup's a little hotter. I think the P94 is a good fit. I know it's a pickup that Phil X himself used. He did some videos where he said he really preferred this pickup over like the Lawler pickups that he was trying for a while. Obviously the ratio tuning keys make it a lot easier to tune, and it looks a lot better. I like these tuning keys the way they look a lot better than the original tuning keys. I like the new knobs, and I definitely like these zero friction potentiometers. And before we go, let's give you a comparison to see what I was talking about. First, I'll be giving you the linear pots to show you how they tapered off, and then the new tapered pots to see how they taper off. So as you can see, I think those are all improvements to the guitar. I think the way the guitar looks, I think it's a little cool. It gives it more of that Phil X kind of look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I sure enjoyed checking it out. I really want to thank Marty again for making this possible. Without him, this video would have been really impossible to do. I also want to thank Phil X for signing the guitar. That was really cool. And again, I want to thank you all for watching this video and supporting the channel. Make sure if you haven't done so to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And as always, I want to thank you for your time. And until next time, know your gear.